Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. Thought I'd just come on quickly and give my thoughts on a review recently that is very emotional and very, very, very sad of recent events that has taken place. And I thought I'd just touch on the subject to send my love and condolences out to the family. So, 4 brothers left to die in blaze. Woman held after house fire horror. Very, very sad indeed. 4 brothers who died in a horrific house blaze after being left home alone. Four-year-old twins, named locally as Kyson and Bryson, and 3-year-old twins, Leighton and Logan, were pictured holding hands. The image was shared by their devastated granddad, Jason Hoth. He said that the tragedy was all the more heartbreaking because their presents were all piled under the tree ready for them on Christmas. Very, very sad events, guys, and I just thought I'd take this opportunity just to give my reviews on this. It's very, very, very sad at this time of year. A 27-year-old woman has been arrested on suspicion of child neglect. Child neglect, people. I mean, shouldn't that be murder? Considering that she decided to leave her 4 beautiful children home alone while she decided to go out. Very, very sad this is, people. And I think this is child neglect and murder, if you ask me, because you don't leave your children home alone, not for any reason. It only takes seconds for accidents to happen, and like in this instance, 4 beautiful lives have been taken due to the irresponsible behaviour of the mum. Please, people, don't ever leave your children, not even for 2 seconds, on their own. As this just goes to show you, it just takes moments for accidents to happen. The boys were pulled from the burning property in Sutton, South London, by firefighters, but could not be saved despite frantic resuscitation attempts in the street. I can just imagine what was going through them firefighters' minds at the time. I mean, it has a major effect, not just only on neighbours and immediate other family, but to the emergency services that have to go out and deal with these types of incidents. I take my hat off to the emergency services because the things that they have to endure. Now imagine how they must feel through this, having to deal directly, to try and resuscitate such little lives, to give them a future. It must have a daunting effect on their mind. I know it would me if If I had to deal with a situation like this, I know it will traumatize me for many, many years. Security officer Jason paid tribute to his amazing, smart, and beautiful grandsons. He said, "I've just left my son. He's absolutely devastated. We all are. I've lost 4 grandchildren, and he's lost his kids. It's all the more heartbreaking because their parents, their presents, were all piled under the tree, ready for a happy time on Christmas Day." Flowers and cuddly toys were left at the scene. A friend of the boy's mum, a carer, said she lived alone with her 4 children. Another pal said the boys were well behaved, polite, and always holding hands. Neighbours said they were sweet natured and happy. Westbourne Primary School in Sutton, which 2 of the boys attended, and staff and pupils were absolutely devastated. Superintendent Rob Shepherd said the cause of the fire is unknown and will be investigated. I mean to go through such a traumatic time of events this close to Christmas, it must have a major impact on the immediate family, the grandparents, the father, the grandmother, and other immediate friends and family. I wouldn't wish this sort of events upon any person, and I think it's extremely emotional and very, very, very sad. I do hope the law will bring into effect not only to charge the mother with child neglect, but also for murder. Them children had all their lives ahead of them, and it's the main reason that I say to parents, you cannot leave your children alone for even a second, because these sort of incidents and accidents, will happen. What was going through the mind of the mum when she decided to leave the home and leave these children on their own? Did she not think or consider, accidents do happen? There is absolutely no excuse for any parent, especially of children of that age, to be left alone in a house on their own. I don't understand how the law is only tackling this for child neglect, because quite clearly lives have been lost through the error of the mother's ways of deciding, whatever reason that she had, to leave the house is never worth losing beautiful children over. There must be an inquiry into this thoroughly, and hopefully the police will do a thorough investigation, and I hope they can come to the conclusion that the mum should be arrested for murder, not only child neglect, but for murder, because it's through her actions of choosing to leave the house and the children unattended as to how this accident has occurred. What goes through the minds of people? Surely any rightful, caring, loving mum would never, ever leave their children alone. To think, for her own selfishness, she wants to leave the children on their own. If she was popping to the shop, then why don't she take the children with her? Quite clearly, she hasn't thought once about her children. She's probably wanted to go out raving or clubbing or to go and see somebody. Get a childminder. Get someone to look after your children. Never leave them on your own. And them children were absolutely looking forward to Christmas. You can imagine the joy going through their world at the time, thinking Santa's coming really soon. And now, through the parents' mistake, we've now having to deal with this tragic moment. It affects everybody, this sort of case, especially the emergency services that were left to deal with having to revive these children. I take my hat off to every emergency worker up and down the country. Imagine what this does to them. All for the selfishness of one human being. I just had to touch on this subject. Because it wouldn't be right for me to bypass such aspects that has hit the news quite recently, and I needed to put this out there for a debate on what people think and thoughts are surrounding this tragic moment. I do hope the authorities also learn from this, and I hope they start implementing some more safeguards within the authorities so that this kind of incident and accident will never happen again. More money needs to be ploughed into the social services up and down the country. More training needs to be given, and greater powers need to be given to authorities like social services, so they do have the power of entry and to do whatever is necessary to help protect the children of tomorrow. I hope these authorities can and will get more funding so that incidents like this will never, ever happen again.